Today on No More Popcorn, we're going to talk about street trash.
Street trash. Street trash. The movie.
Oh, yeah, right.
Oh, the movie.
This one right here.
Jamaica. Jamaica up there, you street trash.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm just
stepping on wires.
a little shaky.
Got a new setup in here.
What did he say?
Well,
the guy said he hadn't. The guy in the movie said he hadn't had booze in days. He's shitting himself all over the place.
Oh yeah, we
I
learned
shit myself.
we learned how to if you're a hardcore homeless alcoholic, there's something important to remember so that you can take a good bowel movement. That's to mix fiber with your booze. Anything with raisins, Jesus.
Yeah, just add raisins to your
I
alcohol.
got long knees. I'm sorry.
That'll clear you right out.
Patrick, give us the breakdown of this movie.
Yeah. Tell the people.
In the sleazy, foreboding world of winos, derelicts, and drifters in lower Manhattan, two young runaways, 18-year-old Fred and his younger brother Kevin, live in a tire hut in the back of an auto wrecking yard. Life is hard, but the most lethal threat to the boys is the mysterious case of the Tenafly Viper wine in Ed's liquor store window. The stuff is 40 years old,
Can't drink that 40-year-old shit.
and it's gone bad.
Does it really say 40 years?
Yes.
In the movie, it
It's
says
like-
60.
Oh.
Does
It says 60. Like, he
Yeah.
clearly says
Yeah.
stuff's like 60 years old.
Yeah.
It has a date on it, like 1923 is actually on the
Oh,
bottle.
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Real bad. Anyone who drinks it melts in seconds, and it's only $1 a bottle.
So, how can you resist it?
I mean, if that doesn't
can't.
pull you in, I don't know what will.
I don't need you or the kids anymore, honey. A fucking $1.
$1 bottle of Viper.
I was amazed how he found it too. He was just digging around in his back area,
He very intentionally.
Please reword that.
and he just saw some wood on the wall and decides to rip it off.
He very intentionally moved things away to get to a panel
Yeah.
in his wall to tear away. Found a crate and said, "Oh, I can sell this crate of booze." That it really does look like Mad Dog.
Oh, absolutely.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy's name is Ed, by the way.
If I'd have known, I would have bought some Mad Dog before coming out here.
Yeah. They just made their own stickers and slapped it over Mad Dog 2020.
Yeah,
That's what it looks like.
Yes,
That's
that'd be
exactly
great.
what they did.
Yeah,
If you buy the Blu-ray copy, you get those stickers.
Yeah.
it's awesome.
Now, keep in mind, this is a sort of establishment. You can only do two things here: buy booze and cash your checks. Somehow, no one enters that place that has a fucking checkbook.
Why
though,
don't
at all?
Why don't we have those anymore? I've not seen any anywhere.
I feel like it's because we live in a decent place.
Well, like when I went up to Chicago, there was none of that
I'm just
happening.
kidding.
Georgia, none of that.
Check cashing places.
That sell liquor.
Wait, you mean that it's actually a
That
thing?
they do both, because that's what that
That
place
is,
did.
I
in the
know
movie
they,
it did.
but
Yeah.
I thought that was a joke. There is actually places that do that.
I would imagine
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
Really?
No, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
That used to be a thing.
Wow. Okay. I had no idea.
Because they knew as soon as you cash your check, you're going to spend it right in there.
I guess I'm not street trashy enough. So I feel pretty good about that. I don't know.
Little side note: this is the same company that brought us Fox and the Hound.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. And they
So if
do
you
all
like
that
Fox
porn.
and the Hound, you will love Street Trash.
I think you'll have more fun with this movie than Fox and the Hound.
it's not the same company. I was kind of expecting a different response out of that.
I'm just like, I don't know. You know
mean,
a lot about this shit.
there was a dude with
That's
a...
Disney, right?
there-
Is it
there-
Disney?
You've never seen Fox and the Hound?
When I was a kid. Yeah.
Man, that's all, the one view is all you need. That shit sticks with you the
Yeah.
rest
You
of
need to
your
watch
life.
the second one.
Oh, I have it. I've never seen it though.
It's bad.
Is it bad?
Yeah. It's terrible.
Yeah.
But there is a dude with a Mickey Mouse tank top. That's a cop.
Yep. That's what the cops wear.
He's a vice cop.
Actually, one thing here, Bill Chappelle, whatever. Bill the cop is what he's credited for. He is actually a real cop. Or he was. He was.
Yeah, he probably got fired after that.
Yeah. I don't think
He
that's
should
stuck.
have been. Brian, tell us about this movie. What is this movie all about?
Well, you've heard the plot. It is that simple. There's not really much to it. You've got the guy Ed at the liquor store. He finds the booze. He's like, "Hey, I'm going to sell it to homeless people for $1 a bottle." And then the booze it causes people to die. They leak weird colors out of their bodies, and some of them end up having some really cool death scenes. One guy drinks it on a toilet after walking through.
Yeah.
He walks through the ladies' restroom door of this completely dilapidated fucking building. Walks in, all these bricks are falling around. So
Yeah, it doesn't actually have walls, but he walks through the door.
Through the door.
It's a complete Three Stooges move.
He still wants to feel like a human.
Yeah. Sits down on the
I'm a real person. I open the door and I walk in. They call me an outcast of society. Fuck you.
Oh, man. It's the first door I haven't had to break in years. So now he goes in, he sits down on the toilet, and he's taking his first sip of Viper wine, and he just starts fucking falling apart. His feet come unattached from his legs, oozing green and blue and purple. It's really quite beautiful.
It is.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, it is.
One sip. Strong shit, man.
And then he ends up becoming like for any viewers who have seen Basket Case, he ends up looking like a Belial character, the cut off brother in the basket. It's just like this fucking face in the toilet. It's like coming stretched out. It's really funny.
The detail I like is he reached up and grabbed like a chain or something hanging
that's
down.
supposed to be what was to flush the
flusher.
toilet.
That's
Oh,
like old
yeah,
school
yeah, okay.
toilet, yeah.
I've seen that. Yes, I've
Yeah.
seen that in Europe. I have seen that. So, yeah, he grabbed it and then he melted away, and the hand was stuck hanging from the chain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say I would not have sold those wine bottles for $1 a piece if they were that old. Now, I'm not a real wino, but I would have sold them for more just because they're 40 or 60 years old.
Yeah.
Because they've been sitting there this whole time.
Yeah.
Just fermenting even more.
All right, our main actor. I do want to point out something that I did learn about this movie. A lot of times, when you look at the credits of your films and stuff, you find out that a lot of these people went on to do a lot of other things. Very, very few people did in this movie. Our main guy, Mike Lackey, his name's Fred. He actually does Spider-Man comics now.
Really?
He's a comic
Oh,
book
that's
writer.
cool.
No more acting credits that I could find, at least.
Yeah.
So we can blame him for the state of Marvel Comics right now.
Well,
Damn you, Mike Lackey.
we'll see. If it was 90s Spider-Man, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
But
it's not.
yeah,
though.
it's not now.
It's current day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Current
Oh,
day
he's
stuff.
current day Spider-Man?
Well, I don't know. I just know that he did at least at some point in time write for Spider-Man.
Okay.
The way that I've seen it, or the stuff that I was reading up on, is yes, he is still currently working on comics.
Okay.
I do want to move on to another guy, though, Vic Noto, the guy who's Bronson, or as we like to call him, the Junkyard King.
Yes.
Yeah, I just want to talk about this crazy
That
motherfucker.
guy was great.
He's awesome.
What did Rachel call him? Who called him something Rambo?
Oh, she called him the bad Rambo.
Yeah.
Shitty Rambo.
The shitty Rambo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
kind of is. Kind of is shitty Rambo.
Yeah, he has all these Vietnam flashbacks, and he's running this junkyard, and just every now and then he'll be sitting around getting fucked up.
Okay, wait. He's not running the junkyard. He squats with his other homeless guys in a corner of the junkyard, and he is like the boss.
Oh,
He's like
he demands payment.
he is the Mad Max. He's very much a Mad Max villain of this junkyard, but all he does is sit around and scream,
Yeah.
and sort of bang his weird decrepit woman, his
Yeah.
old lady. They're all covered with dirt, caked with
Yeah.
dirt.
I still love the tarp sex scene which I do want to touch on something real quick, just because you said he's not actually running the junkyard. You want to know who did?
Who did?
The director's parents.
Oh,
Jim Murrow's parents own that junkyard.
that makes
well,
sense.
there you
That's
go.
why they got to shoot there.
That's how you save money on the.
No, absolutely. Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah, but yeah. So the tarp sex scene. The main thing I want to ask about this is: would you fuck under a tarp? If
No.
you were in a junkyard in the middle of the summer, would you fuck under a
No,
tarp?
that sweaty smell.
That's what
happening,
I say.
It's oof.
How about you?
Can't get past it.
Ever fucked under a tarp?
I mean, I would.
It's got to be
Yeah,
a
why
clean
not?
tarp. No dirty tarp.
Okay, they weren't fucking. Let's go to the scene.
They-
When
yeah,
we
they-
first see this guy.
Yeah, they weren't.
When we
fucking.
first see
It
this
was
guy
weird.
introduced, he has this huge throne on the top
Yeah.
of all
And
this junk.
the other girl was laying on Junkyard King like this.
She's laying. yeah, but she's face up.
My bad.
But he
Yeah.
knows I'm an ass man, so
She's more
it's more like this.
She's more
Yeah.
like this. So when they pull the tarp away from the Junkyard King, she's just draped across his lap. I don't know if he's doing that thing where you do with kids where you go like this stuff. That's what my dad did with me.
Giving some rosies.
I don't know
to
if
her.
that's what he's doing, but I don't know what else you would do in that position. But
I agree.
yeah. It's good being the king.
Out of all the things in this movie, this makes me want to barf. Could you imagine the smell? It's like hanging out at Brandon's.
Is that a diaper?
Yeah.
I couldn't watch that scene without thinking the entire time, like you pointed out,
Yeah.
the smell and the humidity underneath that tarp. I
It's
don't know.
bad. It's just all sweaty, all down there.
I mean, for all we know, they could have been reading.
Yeah.
Could have been reading the label of their liquor bottles.
So yeah, this movie.
I see no books in
So
this
this
movie.
it's basically different scenes of these homeless people in the city. They're just running around. They're stealing from each other. They're
Fighting.
stealing from other people. Then you got the liquor store owner, and they all just sort of interact with each other. People watching this right now might be like, "Well, what's the plot of this movie?" And there's really not.
It's a day in the life of
it's
homeless
scenes,
people.
Yeah, it is. It's this sort of. There is the underlying thing of, okay, there's this booze that kills people if they drink it. There's a cop trying to figure out why, but it barely shows the cop until the end, and then it's not. But most of it is just these different homeless people just fucking with each other.
Yeah, it's just
That's the
random
movie.
acts of chaos. That is all there, and it's just everything to lead up to crazy scenes. Like we have a scene where Bronson, the junkyard king, cuts off this dude's dick that's pissing on him, and then they have a game of dick football. That this is the kind of plot that, you know what I mean? There is no.
Yeah, okay, he's trying to kill. He's about to kill another dude.
Yeah.
Right, and he pushes him up against the fence, and as they're there, he starts getting pissed on.
Yeah.
He reaches through the fence, cuts off the guy's dick, throws it, and there's this goofy music going, and then they're playing a game of keep away like everybody played when they were a kid, except it's with the guy's dick.
I will say the soundtrack did make it enjoyable for a lot of the scenes in the movie.
It's
It was
very
very
different.
well placed, for sure.
So the office attempted rape scene with this like like upbeat kind of jazzy thing.
That guy. Let's see here. What was his name? Pat Ryan. I don't know if you guys have watched it, but he was the mayor in Toxic Avenger.
Okay.
He died of a heart attack like a few years ago.
Foreshadowing in that scene.
Yeah. Yeah, so that is really funny though. When we were all watching it, and anytime it's like this rapey stuff, it's almost like they try to
Brighten it up.
brighten it up. They're like, "Oh, let's just,
so you don't feel as grossed out. I
Oh
guess.
God, one of the grossest scenes to me. I don't know why it just impacted me a different way of all the stuff that we watch. the homeless orgy, which luckily it cut away from, but it's still insinuated enough that it's.
Or I mean, orgy is not. It's
orgy is everybody's.
it was
homeless
gangbang-
rape orgy.
gangbang.
Yeah, it was a rape.
Yeah,
It was a full-on gangbang.
Yeah.
yeah. Followed by some necrophilia.
Yeah, followed by That's what you can look forward to in Street Fighter.
But as much of all the, I feel like we're painting this as like we were talking about with brain damage last week about you were pointing out how it kind of has this sort of depressing vibe to it. This one doesn't really have a depressing vibe. It's very comical.
I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, you will laugh at it. I guess if you're sick and deranged like we are.
Speaking of brain damage, what's his name again that we.
James Lorenz.
No,
James
he's in
Lawrence.
Frankenhooker.
He's
not
in
Brain
Frankenhooker.
Damage.
Well, it's by the same director.
Oh, right.
That's where I was going with that.
Yeah.
Wait, Henenlotter directed this?
No.
Just that guy was in it.
Oh, okay.
I'm
so
I'm connecting the
3
dots.
degrees of.
Stay
with us, everybody.
We connect this
hitting that
actor,
viper.
this actor to that movie, to that director, to that other director.
It's a fun game we should do sometime.
I used to love playing that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's how we would pass time on the road a lot. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yep.
So James Lawrence was actually really funny in this
He
movie.
was
great.
It's amazing before.
He's the main character in Frankenhooker. He plays this random doorman at a restaurant owned by some mafia guy.
Tony Darrow,
Yeah.
Mr. Duran was his character's name.
And speaking of the gangbang / necrophilia scene, he's at the door and the mafia boss's girlfriend is puking in the alley. One of the street trash, kind of your main street trash guy,
Fred.
runs into her and she's like, "Hey, she's down to fuck. She wants to fuck." He's like, "Okay, well, we'll take you back to my what do they call it?
the tire
hut." And so he drags her by the doorman, and then the mafia boss guy is like, "What the fuck happened? You just let..." And this guy it's just all off the cuff talking shit to him. He's in mortal danger.
Yeah.
And he does not give a shit, and he's just cracking jokes to this guy, and it's so funny. That guy is so good at just those things that one after the other.
It's the whole typical Italian mob Jersey kind of, I don't know. Yeah, it's just got the whole you fucking fuck, and it's awesome. Their whole transfer back and forth, I think, is great. Yeah,
I'll say if I was that homeless dude, I would want to go to the girl's house to do what they did. That way I can get in a shower and all that, and I'll bring her back to my tire hut. It's weird.
I agree.
Yeah, get some food.
One of my favorite lines came from one of my favorite lines came from that scene though. So they're in the tire hut and they're about to fuck. And keep in mind, this girl wants it. She's just hammered. I mean, yes, he's technically raping her because she's
drunk.
so intoxicated.
Yep.
But they're laying there, and she's like, "Why don't we 69?" And he's like, "Why don't we do a 68? You can give me a blowjob and I owe you one later."
Yeah, he was very much like, don't touch my mouth.
Yeah,
You're
he
not
wouldn't
gonna
kiss
kiss.
her.
He
No
wouldn't.
kissing. Yeah. And the whole time, all the other homeless people, that are inhabiting this junkyard, yeah,
They just smell pussy.
They're looking
and they just
through
come
into the tire hut as he's like banging this chick, and they're just like, and then he just sort of falls over and passes out, and they literally drag her through the wall.
And the dude just left her. He's like, I don't care.
yeah.
It's weird.
Kicked his little brother out of the room.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, his little brother was what's his name here? Got it written
Was
down.
he sleeping?
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
asleep. He was just chilling out.
He's like, get out of here.
Yeah, Kevin. Mark something was his actual name, but Kevin in the movie, he's the little brother who is like prepubescent and is getting down with Wendy. Well, he wants Wendy, who is much older.
Yes.
She works for the junkyard. And I don't know, there's like this semi-pedophile
No, I mean, how old?
Not Nathan. Not Nathan.
Everybody said
He was
prepubescent.
mentioned. He was mentioned in the movie as being prepubescent.
His brother made a joke about him being prepubescent, but he obviously wasn't.
They all said, like, I'm tired of these kids.
Yeah,
And they're
I know,
kids.
but he obviously was at least 17, 18. Like, they try to make the joke, but he obviously wasn't actually a kid.
I think he
in
was
reality.
9.
I'll
Hope he
say
was 9.
he was probably 14 or 15.
No.
Well, either
I
way,
don't
for
think
sake of the
he
movie,
was
it's
18.
trying to make it weird. I thought at least, but Kevin, he gets his little peeksy.
Oh,
gets
I
a
mean,
little
he
peeksy
got
at
a hand
Wendy.
up there.
She was down for it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. She started doing a little strip tease until old fucking dickheaded Bronson comes in, ruins the whole thing.
That says
I
something.
think you. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Nathan cracked me the fuck up though when they're in the office at the junkyard and Wendy's like, showing her boobs and all this other good stuff to him. He's just sitting there politely on the couch like, oh, this is enjoyable. And then Bronson, because he's always wanted Wendy, he's jealous of anyone that talks to Wendy. He comes barging in the door, and Patrick's like, he's my boy. Or not that Nathan was like, he's my boy. It was so funny.
Yeah, that's. I don't know. I interpreted it as, so you have King of the Junkyard. He lives there. He rules over his street trash kingdom. Has PTSD from being in Nam.
Okay.
He
I was
has-
about to ask, did we talk about
Yeah,
that?
he has nightmares. He had a nightmare about Viet Cong vampires coming to eat him.
I guess that's what happens in Vietnam. It's
And
vampires.
he's got a fucking knife made out of a leg bone that he uses to stab. He stabs people with. And then he sees the kid go into the building with the hot Asian woman that's working at the place. And he even said something like,
he said something pretty racist.
Yeah.
I don't. It was something with.
he
I think-
said
I
you
think-
were like
What did he say? Something.
It rhymes with wink.
wink fucker. He's
Yeah.
like, you fucking wink fucker.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he attacks the kid. I saw it as he's just pissed that the kid is sleeping with
Right.
the enemy.
That's
what he's doing.
oh.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, I didn't think
Yeah.
of that.
yeah. That's sort of that sets you up for getting to the end of the movie. He's there.
But he did have this dream where he rescued her.
Yeah,
and
the
then he
fantasy.
starts having sex with her while bombs are going off in
Sometimes we
Vietnam.
want to fuck what we hate, Patrick.
Now we know what it was like living in the Eckel house. I hate you, boy. Oh my god. Oh shit! Things you learn, right? Sometimes you want to fuck what you hate. I can't wait until I really hope there's an opportunity that comes across me in my life where I get to use that line. Like some boss is mad at me at work. I'm just like, I hate you. And you know what? Sometimes you want to fuck what you hate. God. Oh, shit. All right, so I want some other fun little stuff about this. I really thought a lot of the background of this movie was extremely interesting. So, do you guys remember I wrote him down as businessman, the guy that's walking down the street, and the one homeless guy is sleeping on the side of that building, like on the porch or whatever, and with the cat. Yeah, so when he drinks the Viper and he starts dying and his guts and stuff are spilling through the grates, that guy that gets hit, his name is Roy Frumpkiss. And he was a film professor. And he's one of the main reasons this movie actually even got made. Yeah, he worked with Jim Murrow together because Jim Murrow had done the short film, and then they worked together to make this whole project. There was actually a few people in this that went to this school that he taught at, and some of them were professors, and he basically was trying to teach his class a little bit differently, where everyone was wanting to get to Hollywood. All they wanted to do was become big movie stars. He's like, listen, you kids need to focus on getting into indie films. This is how you can do this. And so he was kind of specializing in teaching these kids how to actually get acting jobs.
So this is the guy who had the stuff melt on his face.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. The one that the cop You just don't want to help him because he's a man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That scene was
weird.
so weird.
I cringed at that scene.
I loved it for today's times though,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's so back and
true.
forth. Like, what is she talking about right now? You don't want to help him because he's a man, but yet you're somehow demeaning me because I'm a. It was so. There's a woman who's trying to have this dude's back, trying to have Roy Frumpkiss's back because he's dying. He's melting all over the place. Bill the cop comes running up, and she's like, help him, and he's just trying to figure out what the fuck's going on to
Yeah.
begin with, and then she goes on this social justice fucking tyrant that it does not make a lick of sense to me.
He's a cop. He's not an EMT. He is not made. That's not his job. He does not know how to save people.
I
like
can't
that.
save your life if
Yeah.
your face is melting.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do
What
at
are you
that point.
trying to get me to do?
Clearly mouth to mouth. Sometimes you gotta fuck what you hate.
Sometimes you gotta give mouth to mouth to what you hate, man. Listen, this is a fun movie. It's just chaos. The movie is just chaos. It's just one thing after the other of just people doing crazy things. Sometimes things that don't make sense. And they're all just greedy. They all only care about themselves. They're all screwing each other over. They just want to get some booze.
That's all they want.
Except for
And
Bert.
fuck.
One of my favorite
Oh.
characters was Bert.
Bert wanted some chicken.
Which
Yeah.
was Bert.
Bert was
That was a great
Fred's
scene.
best friend. Is kind of the way that I took away from that. And Bert, I'm sorry, is looking to get some groceries. So he's walking up to this grocery store, and a woman has dropped a receipt, and he bends down and picks it up and thinks, "Oh, this is how I can validate my stealing. If they see me stealing this stuff, I'll show them this receipt."
Like, no, I already got it. I
Yeah,
paid for
yeah.
it.
So he's in there. He's got on these huge yellow baggy pants, and he's shoving everything under the sun down there, which I do.
Pants are like tucked into the boots. So
Yeah.
they just keep filling up. It's pretty awesome.
I think they
actually.
were also trying to touch slightly on a racial humor.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, because
yeah.
he gets Kool-Aid, a shit ton of chicken. He starts to get a watermelon.
And then he
gets
puts
like
it back.
a smaller.
Yeah,
A different melon. Just a melon. That's what he
yeah.
got. Yeah.
But I appreciated just like I don't know. I hate racial humor for the most part, but I think that was a really
A white
everyone's
man
in on.
would.
I feel like that was like everyone's in on this joke. You don't think so?
No, I just said a white man would.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't
know
really.
what that means.
I don't really
I
like.
just-
I don't know. Aside from Dave Chappelle, I like Dave Chappelle's
Yeah.
racial humor. Anyway, this is going way.
Mhm.
Well, the thing about
shit.
racial
Yeah.
humor is that it's usually it feels like low hanging fruit, right? It's just like
It's an easy grab.
yeah, yeah. That's the thing about it. But it was. I thought it was that whole scene was great.
And when he's leaving, so the manager comes and approaches him because this honky woman like caught him, and he yeah. So
Don't faint, Patrick.
the manager came up and
Who was another black?
yeah, it was
man.
another black guy, and they have a back and forth there.
They have a sort of black off
Yeah,
as far as
yeah.
because the black manager is like, man, what are you doing? And he's like, hey, man, I'm a brother just like you. Why are you hassling me because of this white woman here? Don't you believe me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got he's got fucking chicken that's coming out of the bottom of his pants.
And here's my receipt.
He's like, receipts for cat food. It's
Yeah,
like, wait,
dog
my
food,
fault
yeah.
he rang it up that way. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah. So whenever he's leaving, he's basically got where he feels like he's winning this battle. So he's gonna leave. He's just running through the store, knocking shit off shelves and everything. And he gets up to the cash register, puts a paper bag over his head, and then proceeds to just fucking march out of a plate glass window, like literally just smashes it while never losing stride. I love when movies do that. It's like in RoboCop 3 when he like flies through the fucking window. I don't know. That shit always cracks me up. Yeah. Oh shit.
It's really good, y'all.
It is.
I think this might be one of my favorites that we've watched.
It is. I'm glad I bought it.
Yeah, because it just I like the way it looks, the effects of the gory, the people melting when they drink the Viper is really awesome. There's a new color. Each person has their own unique neon color.
I did notice
that. They start
that was really
melting
cool.
into like a green or blue or yellow.
And it's all just not body melt stuff either. It's
Explode.
Yeah, the big guy who gets a hold of some Viper, which that shot actually, I can't believe I'm going to say anything in this looked artful to me, but there was a scene in the junkyard where Fred's on this side and there's some kind of barricade in the middle of them, and the big guy's on this side.
Oh, yeah, the dumpster between them.
Yeah, and it's almost perfectly aligned.
Yeah, it was really cool.
So, yeah, it's a really cool shot of this guy drinking it, because on the other side, Fred's about to take a sip. Then he hears this big boy on the other side, like, dying. So instead of sipping it, he comes over, and this is when he really starts to realize, or it is the first time that he starts to see, like, oh shit, this stuff's killing people. And this big guy, he's just drinking it, and he starts like farting and expanding and just burping and belching, and then he just explodes. And now Fred is like, I gotta go tell Ed. I gotta go let Ed know.
And I gotta kill some people.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've almost forgot for a second that Ed, when he gets to the store, Ed has drank it. He's got into the Viper booze now, and Ed
said,
died.
fuck it, I'm going to try some Viper.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some of this 1923 booze. He melts and half of his body
Somebody
crawls
should
down
make
the...
a prequel to this about Viper being created.
It's like a mad scientist.
Yeah, mad scientist. And he probably had that building before. And he hid it away. That'd be pretty sweet to see.
My final batch.
Yeah.
Viper.
Yeah, that'd be pretty sweet.
If it ages more than 30 years, people will start to melt. He just laughs maniacally.
Sorry, there's one part I wanted to talk about that I just can't remember.
Oh, where the cop pukes on the dude after he beats the shit out of him?
Oh, that's pretty fucking awesome. That's a good one. Yeah.
So he fights this hitman, the cop does, and then he brings him into the bathroom to lays him by the urinal, and then the cop forces himself to vomit on top of him.
Take out the trash.
Oh no. Oh, are you gonna piss on him? No.
What?
Why?
Why? What kind of weird ass thing is that to
Why
do?
would you
It's a very popular fetish.
That's
All right then.
Yeah, you think after already seeing so many people piss on other people that he's just gonna piss on them in the
Right.
urinal?
That's what I
Which
thought.
would make sense to me.
Right.
He drops him in the urinal, but no, he's like, oh, and then he fucking vomits on the guy. It's so weird. It's such a weird.
That's probably
scene.
why he's not a cop anymore. Because they're like, we noticed you did that. Is that what you've been doing this whole time?
We can't take this out on the
Yeah.
I
streets.
need your badge. I need your gun. Get out of my office.
It was a movie, I swear.
Yeah, that was something too. With the reason I wrote down so many notes when I first watched this is just something to bring up if you guys end up watching this movie. The audio is really fucked.
Yeah.
I think there was so much.
yeah,
a
older
lot of
ones
these
on-
older
yeah.
movies. Are
Well,
like
no,
that,
true, but this
yeah.
one I felt like was really just so mumbly on some shit. I'm like, what? Come again? But yeah, what I was wanting to look up there, I thought this was really interesting. I told you about this the other day, but once again, with just kind of cool little background notes on this movie that is so chaotic and just so trashy. Some of these people, like I said, if not in acting, have gone on to do a lot of things. And Jim Murrow, the director, he is now one of the highest paid steady cam operators in Hollywood. He does like all of James Cameron's movies, and
Wow.
yeah, it's crazy. Apparently, like I can't remember the exact details, but he had borrowed some money or something like that to try to get the movie going, and he actually bought his first camera with that, and then just focused all his attention on like trying to perfect his steady cam and
He became the most steady of camera
steadily
operators.
paid steady.
Steadiest of hands.
So steady.
Do you guys want to get into our ratings of this movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. Patrick, you want to start us off?
I'll give it five buckets of popcorn for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, five full buckets.
With butter or?
Oh, we can do better on that.
Yeah.
I didn't know butter was part of the rating.
Can be.
Well, it is now. Huh?
Candy?
Can be.
Can
well, I'm
be.
going to say, yeah. I give it 5 buckets.
Of
with
butter
some,
with the seasoning.
yeah,
that you can
with
do.
some milk duds on the side.
Ooh.
Yeah, I
Milk
love it.
duds.
I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, absolutely. I will say, I think I'm kind of on the fence of that 3.5 to 4 star thing on it.
Really?
It is enjoyable and as fun as it is. What happened?
Fuck you.
I'm out.
Oh. I thought something happened. I kind of would give it about 3.5 to 4 buckets. Now listen, it's great. It's a good time. You guys are going to want to hear this. It's a good time. But I do not think it is without flaw. And some of the... I think it's a little slow from time to time. You guys are
It's
legitimately...
nothing but chaos.
I
How
thought,
could it be slow? It's nothing but
but
madness,
with
the whole
nothing
movie.
but with
Yeah.
nothing but nonstop madness, eventually it just starts to run together. It's like one madness
Oh.
scene runs into the next.
I did not once look at my watch and be like, oh, this is running a little bit long here.
You literally stepped
I enjoyed
outside
it.
because you thought your girlfriend got shot. What's more important, Patrick? What is more important?
To be my girlfriend on that one.
I'm sorry, Lindsay. We all love you. No, okay. Like I said, I find it very enjoyable. Would I recommend it? Absolutely, yes. I feel like with this genre, there's some that I think are just a little bit better.
Walking out again? Is that what we're gonna do? We're just gonna end it on this shit?
No, I had questions, guys.
What questions do you have?
Well, I realized something, that we keep talking about these movies, but no one knows anything about who we actually are. All right, so I wanted to get a little personal.
Okay.
Can you guys forgive me for a few minutes?
This is okay.
Maybe.
We'll see what we have here.
Patrick, I'll start with you.
Okay.
Would you rather
Yeah. I like these games.
A, be homeless,
Yeah.
or B, not be homeless?
Go with B. I'd rather not be homeless.
Do you care to discuss?
I don't want to live in a junkyard.
Can I ask you why?
Those dudes were having fun.
They were having fun, but I like to stay clean. Like showers, food, money.
That's all you've got?
What?
Nathan,
Yeah.
would you rather
Yeah.
have your dick cut off by a war vet, or B, not have your dick cut off by a war vet?
I think you can learn a lot from having your dick cut off by a war vet.
Care to go into a little bit more detail?
Yeah. It kind of alleviates some of that whole thing about, morning wood, You don't have to deal with morning wood anymore. Right?
That's true.
Isn't that annoying? I want to sleep on my stomach, but I can't. Cuz I got this huge fucking boner. I can't roll over.
Oh, quit bragging.
It's like a tent pole. I can't just roll over with this morning wood. That's a plus.
Yeah. What else you got?
You learn humility. Got this enormous dick, tent pole like dick.
I mean, would you go ahead and try to get rid of your balls on top of that?
Then I wouldn't have testosterone either. Then I couldn't get jacked. I couldn't go to the gym and get jacked. That would kind of suck. As long as I'm jacked.
You're right. You gotta get jacked.
As long as you're jacked.
Yeah.
Right,
Patrick,
Oh, okay.
what position would you play?
Wait. Why do you not get a question?
Because I'm asking the questions.
Well, I'm going to ask you this question.
You're certainly not the brightest.
I'm going to ask you this question.
Patrick, listen.
Okay.
What What position would you play in dick football and why?
Dick football. I'd probably be quarterback on that. I would like to throw that dick.
He's throwing.
Long
He's
and
not catching.
far away from me.
Why?
To get it away from me.
Why?
Because I don't know why I have it, but so I want to get it the fuck away from me.
Nathan,
Yeah.
would you rather
Yeah.
A, fuck the junkyard queen, or B, become the junkyard queen?
That is a tough one.
I think, well, I feel like the junkyard queen was a little bit of a butterface.
She
You know,
was.
so
I feel like this is where if I wasn't squeezed in here between you guys, this is where I would get up and leave. I know I shouldn't talk about anyone's looks with the way that I obviously look.
she looked hot until she turned around and looked like a grandma.
Was it the diaper that did it for
Oh,
you?
no, it was the mouth, teeth.
It was
jaw
the
thing.
obvious fake
Yeah.
teeth.
No,
Yeah.
I'm saying, what made you think she was attractive?
Oh, there was some nice legs there. They were just covered in dirt, you know.
Dirty underwear.
You know.
Got some underbutt going on.
See, Patrick agrees.
But as soon as you see that mouth, you're like,
She
oh,
turns around and
ooh.
it looks like a mamaw. That's the problem. You put a bag over. Take. What's his name? Fred. Greg.
Get
Fred?
his gas mask or his paper bag.
Take the gas
Oh,
mask.
Bert.
Yeah,
Bert.
Yeah.
Bert. Take the gas mask. Put it on her face.
Yeah.
Put it on her head, and you know. Yeah.
Call it a day.
Yeah.
So you would fuck the junkyard queen.
Rather than being fucked by me, being the junk. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
What about you?
I'd have to go with Nathan on that one. I'd have to
Yeah.
fuck the junkyard queen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's better to fuck than be fucked.
Right. And
So-
imagine too,
Imagining what I would do.
if you were the junkyard queen and you have to live with Vietnam dude, just screaming.
No,
all
I'm
night.
I'm just thinking of what I would do to the junkyard queen,
Yeah.
and I definitely would not want to be the junkyard queen.
Oh, I see.
You know how we were talking about how people went off to do some things that were in this movie? I am the junkyard queen.
What?
This is me. All right, your guys' homework this episode. Number 1, let us know what you think of this movie. Number 2, feel free to please answer any of those questions.
Oh yeah.
That would be fun. I would love to hear some responses on those.
Yeah, leave a comment.
Listen,
Comment
leave
on
a
them
comment, like, subscribe, hit the bell,
to
do
get
all
the
that
notification
shit, because you
Yeah.
never know when we're gonna drop another awesome spicy video on you.
Right.
It might or might not be about anime.
It may or may not be about anything else.
And Rambo may or may not have personally approved. Did you guys hear about that? Sylvester
happened?
Stallone is giving us $1 million.
He may or may not.
He is.
He is.
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
damn. Thought we made it.
Thanks for watching, guys. We really appreciate it. We're No More Popcorn.
What do we do now?
Street trash.
Just the mic, just the mic. You wait.